Publishers are becoming more and more reliant on online features these days, which has led to publishers to become slack with quality, causing game-breaking bugs on launch in games that have minimal or less content than was advertised. But with the ability for patches and content to come out later to fix these issues, I think it's about time someone goes back on titles of years past and asks, is it worth playing now? In today's sights is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which was released on all platforms in the middle of 2012 and is the only Valve game that has gotten past the second release. As far as I can tell, CSGO is a graphical improvement and refinement of the previous three titles, which is shown by its esports presence. CSGO has managed to keep a consistent 500,000 daily players for the last year, despite being a nearly 7-year-old game, and having hundreds of imitations made of it. I would say it's a damn good testament to of its quality and proof that a simple but challenging multiplayer game can last the test of time. Mechanics are the foundation of every game, and for CSGO, there's very little that isn't focused on improving the player's experience. There's no paid DLC, pay to win, game-breaking glitches, or overpowered weapons. Since they've been doing this since 2000, if they fuck this up, it'd make EA look like they knew what they were doing. CSGO has three primary modes: Hostage Rescue, Bomb Defusal, and Deathmatch. Deathmatch is treated as more of a warm-up lobby to practice using specific weapons you'd be using in other modes, because if you spawn a few seconds after death. This is important because the other two modes you get 1 life per round with 16 rounds per game. This means that if you haven't practiced with your guns and learnt the bullet spread, not only will you die quickly, it's also unlikely you will improve. Bomb Defusal is simple enough. One team defends a bomb site while another attempts to plant a bomb. And Hostage is the exact same, except you have to pick up and carry a hostage back to your spawn like a glorified team flag. Bullet spread, map knowledge, and grenade arcs are the keystone to CSGO's skill ceiling, due to the rest of the skills like fast reticle placement and positioning requires reflexes more than learned skill and are transferable from other games. Every gun in CSGO has a predictable bullet pattern. For example, the AK-47 fires in the shape of a number 7, and once you've trained yourself to predict this recoil, you can get a headshot with a small burst. This is the primary mechanic when it comes to gunplay, with your movement playing a key role in accuracy. In most games, your reticle bounces around when you're aiming, but in CSGO the reticle is still and your bullet spread changes drastically, meaning you have to choose carefully when you want to stop to shoot accurately or risk being an easy kill. This is why the primary advice to new players is to stick with the AK-47 and the M4. They are the most versatile guns and have the easiest patterns to learn. I would recommend practicing with a cheaper weapon like the Desert Eagle or Mac 10 for those rounds where you can't afford the rifles. Map knowledge is crucial for good defense, positioning, and aggressive attacks, and much like grenade arcs, come purely from practice or obsessively watching YouTube videos. On the topic of positioning, chances are if you've ever watched a pro player, you're wondering why he's changing his weapon like a 4-year-old on cocaine. This is because you run faster with a knife, which is necessary to get to certain bottlenecks before the enemy can push through. These rapid changes are also used to throw a grenade quickly to blind snipers and use your primary to fire at common camping spots or kill zones. These are simple tactics that require practice and skill to pull off consistently. Not much has changed over the years of CSGO. The biggest changes have been to weapon balances, adding weapons, weapon skins, and adding maps to the roster. This is actually where Valve creates a good level of engagement with fans, because not only do they allow modded servers, such as the well-known surf servers, but they also make fan-made maps that are designed well for competitive gameplay into official maps. Valve also does this with weapon cosmetics. Every now and again, certain popular community designs are put into the loot crates. Now, some of you might hate that loot crates exist, and yes, it can reasonably be seen as gambling, but it's purely weapon skins, and because of that, I don't really care. If you want to get a specific gun without gambling, go onto the Steam marketplace and buy it there. But be warned, the rarest and coolest ones, such as Dragon Lore, can go for thousands of real world dollars. Now, CSGO did recently add a Battle Royale mode called Danger Zone, and to be fair, no one gives a shit about it. CSGO mechanics don't suit it well. It doesn't revolutionise anything, and it was a shitty attempt to cash in on a trend. If you enjoy it, that's great, but I think it's a dumb addition and I don't know anyone who plays it. That's really all there is to CSGO. It's a simple but well polished competitive shooter that dates back to the 2000s. It still has an active community which can be hilarious at times, good gun balance and a learning curve to keep you engaged. It's a good game to play casually and competitively. In fact, I've played at McDonald's while listening to a podcast, because a man's got to abuse free Wi-Fi when he's on phone data. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, because it's not revolutionary, but it does its job spectacularly well. And it's now free to play, unlike when I bought it on sale a year ago, so why not give it a try and install it.